Hello, my name's Mike Axelrod. 10 years ago I planted a persimmon tree and I've gotten many crops, and I picked my crop about 2 weeks ago and I've been making stuff with it ever since. Today I'm making persimmon plain and persimmon cinnamon jelly, and I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you for watching. I wanted to show you how I prepare the persimmons. First thing I do is get my persimmon and I cut it in quarters and I cut it in eighths. And then I cut it one more time in the 16ths. If it's a smaller persimmon, I don't have to cut it as much. And I just snap the pieces off as you see on the table. That one got away. That happens. And I'll take them all off. And it usually just leaves me the top, which I throw away. I do have a paper towel here to keep my hand clean. And I'll just take my persimmon and I'll put it on the cutting board and I'll push the knife down hard and I'll peel the flesh off, and I save the skin to make persimmon chips out of. And I'll do a few more and show you how I do that again. Just keep the weight down on the persimmon. And remember, keep your fingers away from the blade. And the smaller you cut it, the faster and easier it is. As you see, it's not too bad. I got a whole pile of persimmons to do. I'm going to chop these up and I'll be back. Got my persimmons cut to the size that I want. And now I'm just going to take them and pour them in my pot. Okay, that's perfect. And I'm going to take these, I'm going to take them over to my stove. We're going to cook them down. And once they're all cooked down, we're going to smash them together, add sugar, and we will have homemade jelly. Got the persimmons on the stove. I got my heat up on high. I don't want them to burn, and I don't want to add water because it doesn't really add the greatest flavor. So to stop them to burning, for a full saucepan like this, I'm going to add about 1 cup of lemon juice. This is a lot of persimmons. Okay? And now I'll put the lid on. And this will take probably about an hour to cook down. Okay, we'll let that cook for about a half hour. We're going to come back and check it, and I'll show you where we stand. It's been 10 minutes since I started the heat. Just coming in, I'm going to check it. Give it a little bit of a stir. See a little bit of steam coming up from the lemon juice. I'm going to cook this down until it gets soft, so it's going to be a little bit of a while. That was 10 minutes. There's still a couple little pieces of skin, it don't matter. Alright, I'm going to let this go, and I'm going to check it in 10 more minutes. It's been 10 more minutes, just checking them to see where they're at. Starting to get softer. Let's stir them up so they're not sticking or burning. I can hear it sizzling at the bottom of the pot. It's still going to need quite a bit of time. Now I'm using a low heat so I don't burn them. If you sit there and you want to stir it a lot, a higher heat would cook them faster. I got like a medium high. I'll pick out all the imperfections as I cook it. I got a little spoon here when I see a seed, because there will be a few. I just scoop them out. And oh, it smells great already, guys. I wish you could smell this. It is so sweet. And when I crush them down, all the seeds will come out. See you in about 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. Come in, let's look at it. It's getting soft, I can feel it. Oh man, I love the smell of this. This is one of the best preserves there are, guys. If you've never had homemade persimmon preserves with lemon, you're missing an absolute treat. Look at it. I'm going to actually see if she's ready to mash a little bit. Let's see if we can start mashing. It's been about 30 minutes now on a low-high heat, not real high. Yep, they're starting to mash up a little bit. We're going to give it some more cook time. I'm not going to waste too much time yet. Let's see. It helps just get more liquid in it so that they'll cook down faster. If these were real ripe, this would be much faster. Unfortunately, I have animals that eat my persimmons when they get really ripe, including wasps and bees even this time of year, and ants. And I grow everything pretty much organic. These are not sprayed. So I want to be able to save as much of the fruit as I can. So I pick it a little bit unripe. But for preserves, I actually like it that way. What will happen is these will cook down just fine in a little bit. And then they'll start smashing into smaller pieces. All the seeds will separate. I'll pick them out with a spoon as I stir it into a slurry. It does take a little bit of work. As you can see, now they're going to start cooking much faster. See it? I got them pretty much into a liquid, all of them. I'll let this cook down about 7-8 minutes. More, and then I'll come in and I'll smash it down again.
They had a massive win on Sunday. Jeff Saturday and all the scrutiny that came along with it after he was named the interim head coach of the Colts, coming straight from ESPN studios. You had a chance to speak with Jim Irsay, the Colts owner, after the game on Sunday. What did he have to say about Jeff Saturday?
Well, Omar, what I asked him is, where were Jeff's fingerprints on that victory? He said, number one, leadership, but then he also said a close second was his ability to delegate. And if you watch that game, particularly Jeff on the sideline, he primarily kept to himself. He didn't offer a lot of input, he offered a lot of encouragement to players, but he didn't bother the assistant coaches very much unless he was asked or there was a specific thing he wanted to address. And when I spoke to Jeff after the game, what he said,
It's been a couple minutes. 4 or 5 minutes since I last stirred it. As you can see, it's really starting to get hot now. It will start to break down much faster. Squish it more. They're still a bit hard, but I feel them crunching. I'm just using a standard potato masher. Okay, it's been cooking for about 35-40 minutes. That's my choice. You can do it faster. I like to do it slow. I picked out most of the impurities. It's hard with persimmons to get every one. There's a few seeds occasionally, but it's not bad. And I'm going to add, this doesn't need sugar. You can eat it just the way it is, but I like my jelly to be thick. In this size pot, I'm adding 2 cups of sugar. And now I'm just going to mix this in. And I'm going to cook it about another 15-20 minutes. Make sure it's nice and hot when I put it in the jars. And I do like to taste. So I will taste it. If it needs more sugar, I'll add it. That's like the minimum amount you want to add to make some nice thick jelly right there. And I'll cook this for about, like I say, another 10-15 minutes. I'll taste it now. Let's see what we got. Oh my God. I wish I could mail everybody out there a jar of this. This stuff is incredible. Between the tang of the lemon, the sweetness of the persimmon, and the sugar, it's a treat. Okay, next step when I come back, we'll be jarring this. Going to add 1/2 pack of pectin. Don't have to be real accurate. It doesn't really need it. There's enough natural pectin in it. But I like really thick jelly. I don't want my jelly running off the sides of my sandwich. So I do add a little bit of pectin. And now all I do is just stir this and fold it in. It'll splatter out. You gotta be careful until you get underneath the powder. Now I'll stir this for a few more minutes. And then I'm gonna start jarring it. And as I'm working, guys, all the impurities that I see, I take them out. Some I'll eat. I mean, I just don't want the discoloring in it, like this one. I'm not throwing that out. It's delicious. When I tell you it's delicious, it's better than peach preserves. If you like peach preserves, this tops peach preserves. Okay, a few more minutes and we'll be ready for the jars. Okay, it's ready to be jarred. I don't fill my ladle up completely. I just fill up a little bit and I tap it into the jar. I try not to get any on the outside. These persimmons have been cooked down. They're nice and soft. This preserve is not meant to be put on the shelf the way I'm doing it right now for years. This is meant for a couple months in the refrigerator. I eat it too fast. There's no sense in me worrying about boiling it down. And I'll leave it up just a little bit more. Take my lid. I didn't get anything on the outside. These jars have been ran through my dishwasher at a very high temperature. And there you go. I'll repeat this process until all of the jam is finished. I'm finishing it up. Just making sure that pectin is mixed in thoroughly throughout, the sugar. And we're about to start jarring our first batch of persimmon preserves. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw cinnamon sticks in it, real cinnamon sticks and some cinnamon powder. We'll let it cook another 10 minutes. And then I'm going to make jars of persimmon preserves. And I'll stop using this now and I'm going to go to the spoon. She's getting really thick, as you can see. I want to give it a good stir. I've got 6 jars of persimmon. Now I'm going to make cinnamon persimmon preserves. I do take about 4 sticks of real cinnamon. And I do sprinkle in about, and I don't measure anything. I do guesstimates. Here I kind of showed you, you know, two cups of sugar, but that's really up to you. You don't have to put any sugar in it. You can put honey in it. You put agave nectar. But I am going to sprinkle about 2 tablespoons. That's plenty. Now I'm going to stir this up. And I'm going to make cinnamon jelly. I'll let this cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm trying to scrape a lot of this stuff off the sides. I don't want it burning. Plus it's condensed and it's thick, so it helps the jam thicken up. And I got to stir that until it's consistent, until I get all the cinnamon the same color throughout it. And once again, I go by taste a lot. And when I taste this, I could smell the cinnamon. It's great. I am going to add a touch more. I know what flavor I'm looking for. It's not quite there. I've done this quite a few times. Do this to your taste. Absolutely do it to your taste. Plus I can tell by the color. It gets a little bit brown in color. That's when I know I got the right cinnamon. Not dark. And I'm going to stir this up. There you have it. the fruits of my labor, literally. Planted the tree about 10 years ago, grew the fruit, and produced beautiful jars of homemade preserves, cinnamon and regular persimmon. Many of my friends have already got a jar. I've been making it for the last couple of weeks, and I have enough persimmons probably to pick another wheelbarrow full, and I still have probably another wheelbarrow to process. Thank you for watching.